Hey everyone, you're watching KTAL News Now. I'm your host Anthony Mocklin, and it is Thursday. We are almost to the weekend. We can get there, I promise you guys. It'll be alright. We can see the weekend in sight, but we are also looking at what to do this weekend if you are looking for plans or things to do. Even in this really hot heat, I mean, it is so hot outside, but there are plenty of things that you can do to stay safe from that heat this weekend. And one of those, there's several actually, there's different school supply drives and giveaways that are being held throughout the parish. And one of them is at Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office, where they'll be having a school supply giveaway where they'll be giving away backpacks, different school supplies, notebooks, pens, pencils, anything you need to prepare yourself for the upcoming school year, because it is getting really close to that back to school grind. I mean, we are a few weeks away. We are a week away from August, so it is right there. We are right in the midst of it. So there will also be a school supply donation drive held by the Salvation Army during their Stock the Bus back to school drive, where they will be accepting donations of school supplies to provide students throughout the region with anything they need to prepare themselves. And these school supplies, giveaways, and drives will be held from now until right around mid-August, or like right before mid-August, when schools start getting back in session and getting back into the swing of things. So be sure to be on the lookout for those. You can find all the information about the school drives and anything you need on our website at ktalnews.com. If you hover over to the News tab under Education, you can find everything you need about where they are and when they're being held and what time to be there, and if you need to bring anything, like everything you need is on our website. And one of our digital reporters, Erica Agers, actually compiled a nice and neat organized list about all the upcoming school drives that will be held throughout the region. It has everything you need, the time, place, everything is all there in one neat article, which is really nice. It just has everything you need all in one place. So be sure to check that out. Again, it's on ktalnews.com under the News tab, and then you can find Education to find not just the school supply news, but everything related to education with local schools and everything going on with them. And if you are a parent of a student who is a huge fan of Shark Week is actually being held right now, but specifically at the Shreveport Aquarium. They are hosting events all throughout from now until Sunday, and some of those events include mining for megalodon teeth, where one winner is picked each week to take home a fossil from a megalodon, which is really awesome. It's such a prehistoric animal. It's been extinct for who knows how long, but it's such a cool thing to have a relic from the past like that, especially with such a legendary animal. And on Friday, there will also be a shark talk as well as feeding of sharks, where people at the aquarium can dive into specifically shark behavior as well as their importance to the ecosystem around them. And then on Sunday, there will be another panel regarding what's known as Science is Neat, which is their version is going to be a shark edition. And that one will go even further into learning about sharks, and specifically learning about their biology as well as their adaptations, and diving into their old myths and mythology regarding sharks and the legendary stories you hear of shark attacks and everything. So they'll be diving into just their impact on society and pop culture and everything in everyday life, essentially, whether you're going to the beach and you've seen Jaws a million times like I have. They're very prevalent today, but they're made out to be much worse than they actually are. I mean, the chances of actually being a victim to a shark attack is super low now, especially. So they'll dive into all of the myths and preconceived notions of sharks on Sunday during their Science is Neat. And there will also be activities available for children, including arts and crafts and trivia. And you can also be able to feed stingrays. And if you've ever been to an aquarium before, you know how, or on like a field trip as a kid, you know how cool the stingray exhibit was. I mean, you could be able to feel them, pet them, everything. It was always such a really cool experience, and that's something I cherish. I mean, I still, whenever I go to the aquarium, I always try to at least pet a few stingrays because it's always such a cool thing. They're such unique animals, and even though some of them are pretty dangerous with their stingers, you just have to be very careful and gentle with them because they're not going to bother you if you don't bother them. So, but it's still a really cool experience. I highly recommend it to anyone if you've never seen or touched one up close. It's really, really cool experience. It's just such a unique animal. Like I said, it's so interesting. Whenever I was a kid, I actually initially wanted to do marine biology because I was just fascinated with all types of marine life, and I would just watch like all these deep sea documentaries about these undiscovered fish and like things we'd never even seen before. So it was really, really cool, especially considering only like 20% of our ocean is actually discovered. So who knows what else is out there? I mean, that's kind of scary, but I mean, at least it's cool to learn more about our planet and just everything that's in it. And one highlight of Shreveport Aquarium specifically is actually Yoko the swell shark. And if you don't know what a swell shark is, swell sharks are a very unique type of shark that literally swells up almost twice the size of their normal size by sucking in air or water to make themselves way bigger than they normally are. But in Yoko's case specifically at the Shreveport Aquarium, she actually made national headlines back in January of this year because she actually hatched in a habitat where there were no males present. The aquarium itself only had 2 female swell sharks in it. No males were present, and those female sharks had no contact with any male swell sharks in over 10 years. I mean, so they didn't even know how that even was possible. So they were trying to theorize about how that could have happened, where that could, like, I'm perplexed myself. I didn't know how that was even possible, but scientists have theorized that it could either be one of 2 things, and the first one is delayed fertilization, which is where an egg hatches or gets fertilized a few years after initial fertilization, but if you look deeper into that theory, the max length of time that a delayed fertilization that has taken place in our recorded history is a 45-month period, which is a little under 4 years. So if they hadn't had contact with a male shark in over 10 years, that one is highly, highly unlikely or downright impossible. And the other theory that is a lot more plausible is parthenogenesis, which is a form of asexual reproduction where in Yoko's case, she would be essentially genetically identical to her mother because there was no other male shark present to pass on any DNA or mixed DNA. And that DNA actually plans to be tested once Yoko is older and it's safe to do so during like a blood DNA test to make sure that that was the form that she was essentially hatched from or born into this world of. So it'll be really interesting to see what they end up finding with that and if it actually is true that she was asexually reproduced in that way. And it will also give scientists an insight not only to Yoko's growth, but to shark reproduction as a whole, because this is something that where female sharks are known to lay eggs even though they're not fertilized, but pretty much almost all the time they never end up hatching because there's no other DNA donor that is able to fertilize them and make a shark essentially from those eggs, from that embryo. But while Yoko is not on public display at the Shreveport Aquarium, you can follow the Shreveport Aquarium on social media where they give regular pup dates on Yoko and her journey and her growth. And based on, I mean, she's only a few months old now, but based on the recent updates, they say she is growing pretty great. She's thriving. Like she's perfectly normal, even though her birth was abnormal. But it's still interesting to follow along. Again, you can follow them on social media at the Shreveport Aquarium to check her growth and follow along with them as they watch her and learn to see her grow. But if you're looking to do something this weekend, specifically tomorrow night after the aquarium closes, the Red River Billiards just had its grand opening, or it's going to have its grand opening tomorrow night at 5 p.m. They hosted a ribbon cutting earlier this week for a soft opening where they had around like 250 people there to celebrate the initial kind of tour and just to see what the facility is all about. It's going to be a 20,000 square foot pool facility or pool hall, and it's right next to Brookshire Grocery Arena. It's like 2 minutes down the street from it, I'm pretty sure. And the pool hall itself is going to feature 28 tournament-style pool tables for people of all different, like whether you're a beginner or a pro, that they're all going to be available to you. And if you want to take your children with you to have some family fun, there are also 7-foot tables available to ages 13 and up with parent supervision. But if you want to just hang with the adults and your friends, your coworkers, there's also 9-foot tables that are available to people 18 and up. And it comes stocked with a full restaurant and bar. If you just want to chill, you don't want to play, you can just hang out and socialize with everybody. And if you're a huge sports fan, there's also a TV arena where sports fans can gather and watch the big games or anything that's on that you want to just root for your team for and just have a good time. Like I said, there's a full restaurant and bar, so all your social aspects are there. And after the game, you can just catch a round or play a game with your friends, your buddies. So it's a really great time for everyone. And NBC's Dan Jovic has more about the owner and their journey of opening up.
1, 2, 3, break! Yeah!
Community leaders gathered at the new Red River Billiards on Brookshire Arena Drive this morning as a ribbon cutting ceremony was held today. The 20,000 square foot facility features 28 pool tables, a full food menu, and a bar. The owner says the business is designed to attract national leagues for competition.
And it is specifically built and set up for an arena billiards facility. And what that means is that we pay close attention to the sport, not just piling a bunch of tables and being another establishment with just pool tables inside of it.
Red River Billiards officially opens to the public this Friday at 5 p.m.
And if you end up going to the grand opening and you're recovering the next morning, Dripp Donuts and Chicken has you covered with some morning recovery as they're having their grand opening throughout this weekend that will take place on Saturday and Sunday. There's events all throughout the day. It's chock full of activities. The events kick off at all the way from 7 a.m. and they last until 8 p.m. that night Saturday. So it'll be really interesting to see what they have in store. But one of the things that they are committed to doing is bringing back old fan favorites for limited time, which includes the Charleston chicken sandwich, which will be available for this weekend only. And if you don't know what that is, it's a fried chicken sandwich that's topped with candied bacon, butter, and cane syrup. I mean, that has my mouth watering just listening to that and hearing that. I mean, it sounds so good. I can't wait to try that. And they'll also be opening up their donut vault, bringing back fan favorites, which include matcha strawberry, cookie butter, and chocolate habanero, as well as new ice cream flavors, including cookie butter and piñata, which if you don't know what piñata is, it consists of a vanilla base, and it usually has a mix of animal crackers or cupcake bites in them, and it's really, really good. Highly recommend it if you haven't tried it. And if you really have a sweet tooth, this is definitely the place to be this weekend. And then on Sunday, specifically, they have a Sunday-only brunch special of chicken and waffles, which is a breakfast staple. It's a breakfast classic. Goes with any meal in the morning. I mean, it's just a great combination. Can't go wrong with that. And as far as the opening of Dripp, it's been a pretty long time coming. They were forced to close last year because their building was structurally unsound. And Isabella Cheng of NBC actually spoke with the owner back in April to hear about their journey and how they came to the grand opening essentially this weekend.
You can't imagine. It's like, I always think that it's just fried dough, right? But it's more than that. It's about community. It's about the support. It's the feedback and the smiles and the encouragement from our fans. It means a lot, you know. And can't even go to Brookshire's without seeing someone who loves your donuts and wants to tell you about it. So it's really fun to be kind of plugged in that role, and yeah, that's what keeps us going. That's what made us want to do this again, because we were not sure we were going to. We kind of were rethinking things and exploring different options, and when this came available, we were like, we got to do it. And it's moved extremely fast. Like, hoping to open May 1st from, looking at the lease in January. I don't even think we had possession until February. Mm-hmm. So wow. It's been foot on the gas, and barring any hiccups, I think we're pretty close. There's a lot. In addition to the donuts and kolaches, we're going to bring in the chicken component from our food truck, which was also strangely successful. Like, we started that just for fun. Like, Harry, the chef, and I did that while we were waiting for the donut shop downtown to get finished, and that took off all on its own. So I ended up having 2 extremely busy businesses to juggle and 2 kids in diapers. That was probably not the best time to start the food truck, but that was a lot of fun, and that product is great. So we're gonna bring those 2 things together, and we're gonna have some cool mashups too, like a donut sandwich with the chicken. And we'll be able to have the donuts throughout the day, and then the chicken will start at 11. And we also have Dripp soft serve ice cream at 11 too, like with some really fun flavors like bourbon blueberry, Madagascar vanilla. So adding that product line too, with all of the schools and the kids, and I think that's going to be a big win.
Did you have anything that you personally would like to say that I didn't know?
Thank you. I really, Michelle and I are so grateful for all the support and the messages. Sometimes it's too emotional to interact with everyone and reply to everything, and I don't, but it really means a lot. I mean, it was a tough year, and knowing that so many people were behind us and supportive of us, that's what made us want to do this again. So I'm really grateful to everyone. Even just the kind words in the grocery store, or honking your horn when you come by, it means a lot. And so from my family to Shreveport and Bossier, thank you.
Isabella Cheng, NBC6.
And like I said, that kicks off on Saturday. It goes from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Dripp Donuts and Chicken. It's going to be an all-day event, even though it lasts from Saturday and Sunday. The main event is Saturday, where there will be entertainment from Hot Boy Yoshi and DJ Ready Rock. And if you're a fan of live music and you want that live entertainment, Sam's Town and Hotel and Casino is also hosting a 90s country night where the band The Crowd will be performing. They are a 90s country tribute band who are known for their really high energy performances, and they have everything you need. And if you're not too much of a fan of today's country, I know a lot of people have debates about whether today's country is considered real country, but if you're a 90s country fan, you grew up at that time, it has everything you need. It'll play all the 90s hits that you know and love, and they have everything to get the crowds engaged, from line dances and slow dances, like whatever you need throughout the night. And if you want to support local music artists specifically, Music Prize is a competition where 12 artists are competing for $10,000 cash prize, and 3 of those artists are from here in Shreveport. And the last day to vote for those finalists are tomorrow, Friday, at midnight. So be sure to get your votes in. You can get all the information you need on our website at ktalnews.com to find all where you need to go to vote and who to vote for and where they're from. It has all the artists and their backgrounds and also the genre of music that they're performing with on our website. And that will be finalized ahead of Prize Fest, which takes place in October. And that will take place from October 15th through the 19th. So don't miss it. Mark your calendars now. It's such a huge gathering of local talent where they'll have cash prizes in film, music, comedy, and food. And these cash prizes go to local filmmakers, artists, chefs, entertainers, everybody from around the area that just has a talent, essentially. We aim to celebrate them through that. So that would be really awesome to see. I can't wait for that. Like I said, you can check out all the information you need about Prize Fest as well as Music Prize specifically on our website at ktalnews.com. And that is also where you can catch us on KTAL News Now every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. And you can check out all of our old episodes on our YouTube at KTAL News. And you can see all of the previous week's episodes in this article on our website, which is pinned to the homepage every day at 1 p.m., like I said. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin, and thank you for joining us.